99X, we're the Morning X, Barnes and Leslie. Fran, I want to talk about a serious topic and would love opinion at 470-741-4999.
I love when you get serious, Barnes.
Well, it's about something that Jared Oxendine, our divorce attorney who's now coming on with us once a month, said Atlanta, the #1 city for adultery.
It's crazy.
And I have a situation that has come up that is really makes me feel really strange. There's a bar that I like to go to. Mm-hmm. And I went, and we take several people there or meet up, for drinks or dinner or whatever. Mm-hmm. And recently we started, I went with this one friend who recognized a man at the bar. She's like, oh, that's my friend's husband. And that's not his wife.
Could it have been a friend? Or were they touchy-feely?
Not the way it looked. It didn't, again, it could be a friend, but you can tell. I think when you see that much public display of affection, that maybe it's not a friend.
Okay, so it looked like more than a friend.
And mind you, this is not my friend. This is this person's friend.
Okay.
So we're like front row. Like, talk about not having situational awareness. Like, I guess that this person doesn't recognize this friend, her friend, the wife's friend.
So now you guys are talking, should we say something or should she say something?
Well, I asked her. I said, so, Ooh. And then as I asked her, I thought, oh, this is going to be good to ask, our 6 listeners on the show. And I said, are you going to say something? And she's like, because what if she's wrong? But
you're opening up a can of worms if you say something.
It looked pretty ironclad. I watched it with this person.
Now you're saying it looked ironclad, so they did look like they were touchy-feely. Okay.
There was even, like, lips pressed to a part of the body.
Barnes, you didn't say that in the beginning, so this is full proof.
No, well, I said that unless it's his, maybe, okay.
This is uncomfortable for you, I can tell.
Maybe it's an open relationship. But no, the morning show host in me took over, so at that point I'm asking her, I'm like, are you going to say something?
What'd she say?
She said, I don't know. I don't know really what to do. Because then you're, a marriage is come on. Unless you're in an open marriage, you're in some really weird situation.
Well, if it's somebody you're really close with, like a best friend, I sort of feel like you have to say something. I know you don't want to get in the middle of it, but if it's a really close best friend, you should say something because they could come back and say, wait, you saw that and you didn't say anything?
It's a huge house of cards. And I will add, and I have not told this person, so hopefully she doesn't listen to our show. Since that time, I have seen this guy there twice with the same girl, same bar again. So it's in a building where there are a bunch of businesses. And so it's obvious this is the watering hole. You know what I mean? But we're talking about dinner time. So how does the wife not even wonder where dude is? Is it like, oh, I'm working late?
Yeah, he's probably said, I've got a business meeting or, drinks after work, business work.
Oh, yeah, drinks after work. There was a lot of drinking.
So, your dilemma, too, is now, do you tell your friend that you've seen this 2 other times?
I haven't, but I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not naming names, so obviously it's,
I think guys have a different perspective on this than women, I'm just saying.
Let's get some calls. When should you tell a friend that their partner is having an affair? Hey, Morning X,
should
hello.
you?
Yeah, or should you? Hey, Morning X, who is this?
It's Kim.
Hey, Kim. So this is a very, very touchy situation. Do you have an opinion on whether or not you should tell a friend that their significant other is having an affair?
Absolutely. If you're married and you have an open relationship and both people are aware of it, then great. But if not, and you're on dating apps, that's not okay.
Have you ever been in that situation, though, where you've had to tell a friend?
I was, actually, my very best friend.
Did you do it?
I did.
Well, just briefly, What was the circumstance? You found out about it?
I was single, and I was looking on, it might have been Yahoo Dating at the time.
Wow.
This was years ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago. And lo and behold, there is her husband, but it's not just a picture of her husband. It's their Christmas card picture. And he has cut her out of it.
No, he didn't.
And yes, he did. And it was him and their dogs. And she's cut out of it. And so I immediately call her. She's been my best friend since we were 15. And somehow or another, everything got turned around on me. And anybody that would listen to him, he told them that I broke up their marriage.
See, that's the problem. That's what happens.
Yeah, and he didn't take his part of it. He didn't tell anybody, oh, well, she saw me on, a dating app. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that story. It's just such a slippery, dangerous slope on so many levels.
It is.
Well, especially if it's your best friend.
Yeah. Thank you, Ken. We appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Hey, Morning X. Hello.
Hey, Barnes, how are you?
Hi. Who is this?
This is Angeline.
So what do you think about this whole thing? Should you tell a friend if, you know?
We want to know what you think.
It's a tough situation, but I think ultimately, you want to treat others the way you want to be treated, and I would for sure want to know. So if it's someone I care about, I'm absolutely going to tell them.
Yeah, she brought up a good point, Barnes. You would want to know.
I know,
but you would want to know. You'd want to tell your friend who would want to know.
But playing devil's advocate, what about the psychos that are going to want vengeance on you for getting involved in, a pretty heavy topic and situation?
Like, why did you bring this up kind of thing?
Well, yeah, people, listen, they don't make datelines just for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, this is the kind of stuff
Yeah, I guess good point. Maybe, I don't know. That's why I have a husband to protect me.
Okay, so now you've pulled him into the danger zone. Well, at least if you're going to tell, you better let him know that something is happening so he's aware.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I would still tell, and just, I feel like doing the right thing at all costs is always kind of how I want to live.
So far, 2 females, and they would both tell. I'm wondering the male POV. We haven't had one yet, but thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate you
She said
calling.
it right there, doing the right thing, Barnes. That's a true statement.
Hi, Morning X. Who is this?
This is Kevin.
All right, here we go. Here's our male perspective. Kevin, what would you do in that situation? Would you tell or not?
I would not tell.
Really?
Only because, I've been kind of through some of this stuff in my past, and I don't want to involve myself in the drama that ensues from it.
There you go.
Because then you're wrapping yourself right up in the middle. The friend may hate you after that. You may cause unneeded drama within their own life. It's something where I would recommend at that point, if I were to know about it, maybe talk to the friend and just kind of figure out like, hey, and just see if there's other things going on in their lives that maybe just kind of get some feedback, and then recommend counseling. Because you don't really know what's happening or what's really going on within their own lives and what's going on with their partner.
Yeah.
And that's why, I don't want to involve myself in that.
You don't want to get in the middle. But what if the friend knows that you know and down the road says, why didn't you say anything to me?
Oh, good point.
What are you going to say? What are you going to say?
I would tell them the same thing. Like, I knew, but I didn't want to get myself involved. And that has actually come back to bite me. I will say that it was something that wasn't involved around cheating, but I did know something about the person's partner that I didn't tell them because she just looked so happy.
Oh.
And I didn't want to ruin that happiness, and so I didn't say anything. And so after the breakup, she's like, why didn't you ever say anything? I'm like, you were happy, and I didn't want to hurt your happiness. And so she's like, well, if this ever happens again, please let me know. So some friends might draw a boundary there. And at that point, then I might consider it. But personally, I just want to stay out of it.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate your opinion. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, good morning. Who is this?
This is Lucretia.
Would you tell your friend?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, see, without a doubt, she's like, yes.
I've been in a situation before, and I mean, if you have irrefutable proof, then yes.
Well, what happened in your situation, Lucretia, when you told the person?
Well, I mean, nobody wants to be, like you said, in that situation. I was unhappy about being in the situation in the first place. Please don't put me in your drama.
Yeah.
But at that point, I mean, I had to call my girlfriend and say, look, I need to talk to you. I went to the husband first, and I said, look, I'm not asking you to confirm or deny. I'm letting you know that this is out here, and it's going to make its way back to your wife. And she's not only going to be really devastated because you betrayed her, but then all of us who looked her in the face and lied through omission, who knew and didn't say anything. So she's going to be twice betrayed, and I can't be that person. So you need to fix this. And he refused, and I went back a few days later. I said, my conscience can't live with this. You have to tell her I will. And he's like, you do what you have to do. So I did. And she wasn't happy that I told her. I mean, I was like, well, thanks for letting me know that my husband is an adulterer. But, you know, she didn't speak to me for 9 months. And when I finally saw her and asked her about it, she was like, I was just embarrassed. I was ashamed. I said, she goes, no, I understand why you did it, and I appreciate it, and you were just being a good friend. But I was so humiliated. I'm like, but I could only imagine how much worse it would have been if you'd found out and then knew that a bunch of people knew and no one thought to tell you.
Well, I'm glad that you went to the husband first, because you were giving him an opportunity, you know, to come clean, and he didn't.
But now he knows who it is, though. Now he knows that it's
but
Lucretia,
still.
that he's going to...
I didn't care.
Hey, look, when you put people's backs against the wall, though, in situations like that, you've got to be ready for some kind of explosion. And you don't ever... That's my fear, is that more people are going to end up hurt, even maybe physically. You know, it's a bad thing, Atlanta being, you know, you heard that stat, number 1 for adultery. Lucretia, thank you for calling in, and thank you for listening.
No worries. Thank you so much.
We'll see you. Bye-bye. Well, man, that is a tough topic, and I guarantee you I'm going to see these people again at this restaurant. I guarantee it.
It is so, you're right about, do you get in the middle if it's a best friend? I personally would tell the person, but I understand it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, very slippery. Thanks for the calls.